Switching Game Show Network. Number 1, what is your name, please?
My name is Barry Bremen.
Number 2.
My name is Barry Bremen.
And number 3.
My name is Barry Bremen.
Only one of these people is the real Barry Bremen and has sworn to tell the truth. And now let's meet our panel. Rodeo rider, cruise director, country and western singer, John Wade. Erica Cudahy of TV's All My Children in Real Life is Susan Lucci. One of the quickest wits in show business, the incomparable Bill Cullen. An actress, author, singer, and beauty authority, Polly Bergen. And that's our panel. Now here's the host of To Tell the Truth, Robin Ward.
Well, here we are again, panel. Are you ready for this today?
All ready, Robin.
Are you going to behave yourselves today?
I am going to be on my very good behavior.
You know you're familiar with how the game is played, I take
No,
it.
would you explain it?
No, I won't, Polly.
Oh.
Let's get right down to the problem presented by our first team of challengers, all three of whom claim to be Barry Bremen. And panel, would you rip open your envelopes right now and follow along as I read. I, Barry Bremen, am a super imposter. I get my jollies by playing the part of someone I'm not. My basic field is sports. At the National Basketball Association's All-Star Game in 1979, I warmed up at halftime. I missed my first 3 shots, but made the 4th. At the 1979 Major League All-Star Baseball Game, I wore a New York Yankee uniform and shagged flies in the outfield. Unfortunately, Reggie Jackson needed my uniform. I think the apex of my career came when, wearing hot pants, falsies, boots, and a wig, I joined in a brief dance routine with the famous Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. I say brief because I was thrown out of the stadium by the security guards. Signed, Barry Bremen. All right, panel, these 3 people all claim to be the incredible imposter, Barry Bremen. Let's start the questioning with Susan Lucci.
Barry, number 3. How do you do that? Do you just crash? Is it like gate crashing?
Well, that's essentially it, but it takes a lot more skill and finesse than just crashing through the gate.
How did you manage to get Reggie Jackson's baseball uniform?
Well, the problem was that Reggie didn't have his own uniform. There were 5 Yankees at the game, and he didn't have a uniform. They needed one. They spotted me, and that was the trade.
I see. Barry, number 1. Who did you pretend to be at the All-Star basketball game in 1979?
Well, all you need is a warm-up, and this is a Kansas City King warm-up. I didn't pretend to be anybody other than a normal basketball player. It so happens...
And we go to Bill Cullen.
Number 1, when you were doing that, staying with you and a Kansas City guy alongside of you, didn't any of the Kansas City players say anything to you?
One ball player by the name of Otis Birdsong looked at me and he says, "Hey, you and I on the same team, and I don't even know who you is." We had different uniforms. This uniform was 3 years old.
You probably thought, who's been traded? Number 2, do you do other kind of crashing, like crashing parties or something like that, just going as a guest?
No, just sporting events.
In other words, number 2, you just crash things where you're going to get a chance to either warm up with a team or where people can see you.
Where I can be seen on television.
Why do you do that, number 2? What's the kick in being seen on television?
Well, it originally started as a bet and a dare with my boss. And then I just kind of had so much fun with it the first couple times, I kept doing it.
Number 3.
And we go to Polly Bergen.
Number 1, how tall are you?
6'4".
6'4". Do you have any hair on your chest?
Very little.
Oh, I see. Because I was a little concerned. Number 3, how long did you last as one of the cheerleaders?
About 4.5 minutes.
None of the girls wear glasses, or all of them on the cheerleaders?
Well, you have to remember that I did shave my chest and legs before I went out.
Oh, well, then I would have guessed you for a girl immediately. Number 2. Number 2, who is the manager of the New York Yankees?
Dick Hauser is.
Dick Hauser. Number 1, who is the coach of the Lakers in California?
Who is the coach?
Yes.
I forgot his name.
Number 3, who is the coach of the Lakers?
And we go to John Wade.
Number 3, what do you do in real life?
In real life, I'm a surgical tape salesman in the Texas area.
Okay, number 1, who is Fred DeMara?
Fred DeMara is the great imposter.
Okay, number 2, do you know Fred DeMara when he impersonated some people? Name some of the things he did as an imposter, rather.
He impersonated a prison warden, and he also impersonated a dentist.
Okay, number 3, how did you get the idea to do this? How did you get started?
Well, it started with a fantasy years and years ago. I was...
Well, you've made it. I mean, you're there.
And I was a frustrated athlete, to put it bluntly. I had some decent talent, but I'd never made it to the big time. But this is a good way.
And Bell says time is up. Now it's time to vote for number 1, number 2, or number 3. Whoever, in your opinion, is the real Barry Bremen. We pay $100 for each incorrect vote, and 4 incorrect votes will give our team of challengers $500. Are the ballots all marked, panel? Mm-hmm. Yes? Susan, who'd you vote for?
Well, I voted for Barry number 3. I really think that it might be 1 because he looks the most of the group as like a professional athlete, and I think you could get in very easily to those games. But I can't really tell what number 3 looks like, so...
Okay, Bill, who got your vote?
This is one of those hard spots, Robin. They were all good, and it's hard to question. Just on a hunch, I, too, voted for number 3.
Okay, and Polly, who got your vote?
Oh, well, even if he shaved his chest, his earlobes, and whatever, he looks like he's about 6'6" or 6'8". That would be a very tall girl in the Texas, Dallas, cowgirl, whatever. 6'4" is a little high, too, but he looks like he'd make a prettier girl. I voted for number 1.
Okay, and John, who got your vote?
Okay, well, I like number 3's legs. I gotta say that. Really nice. But I think number 1 seems to be, I kind of go along with Susan. He looks like he could get in. He inspires kind of confidence. I think he'd make the best date, too, for the dating game. Right.
Okay, the votes are all in. Now we're going to find out who the real imposter is. Will the real Barry Bremen please stand up? Okay, panel, let us find out who our imposters are, and I can't wait. I have to go straight to number 3. You're very lovely, number 3. Would you tell us, please, who you are and what you do?
First of all, thanks for the compliments. My name's Nelson Lees. I'm a marketing director for W.R. Grace & Company.
Thank you.
No, you've been kind.
And number 2, could you tell us what your name is and what you do, sir, please?
Yes, I'm a used car dealer in New York City. And my name is Bill Cullen.
All right, there were 2 incorrect votes at $100 each, giving you $200, gentlemen, to spend in any way you see fit. And you're all great sports. It's been a pleasure having you on To Tell the Truth. And we'll see 2 of you back, I regret to say, on One in just a moment. And we'll be coming back into your lives in another moment. Thank you, Alan. We are back, and let's meet our next team of challengers.
Number 1, what is your name, please?
My name is Sue Ruff.
Number 2.
My name is Sue Ruff.
And number 3.
My name is Sue Ruff.
All right, panel, once again, you may rip open your little envelopes and follow along as I read. I, Sue Ruff, am a survivor of the volcanic explosion of Mount St. Helens in the state of Washington. A friend and I were camped about 7 miles outside the specific danger zone when it happened. We saw a dark cloud approaching us. Many huge trees were uprooted and fell near us. Smaller trees fell across them, making a sort of shelter which protected us. Then came a 3 or 4 second blast of heat, estimated to have been between 800 to 1200 degrees. We were engulfed by choking volcanic ash and pelted with rocks and chunks of ice. When that subsided, we started walking. At dusk, we were picked up by a helicopter. Geologists estimated that Mount St. Helens spewed forth as much ash and rock as did Mount Vesuvius when it buried the ancient city of Pompeii 1900 years ago. Signed, Sue Ruff. right, panel, these three ladies all claim to be Mount St. Helens survivor Sue Ruff, and let's start the questioning with our own survivor, John Wade.
Okay, number 3, you say first you saw a dark cloud approaching. Did you hear any sound before that?
No.
Okay, number 2, is that true?
Yes, it is.
Okay, number 1, is that true also?
Yes, sir.
No sound at all?
No sound at all.
Did you eventually hear any rumbling, number 1?
No.
You didn't? Okay. Now, what was your first reaction, number 1? What did you think was happening?
I was just very confused and strange because of the black cloud. We couldn't see anything.
Okay, what did you and your companion, what did you say to one another then? I mean, what did you think it was?
Well, we weren't quite sure. As I say, there was no warning, no rumbling, no sounds. We just held on to each other and stood there in the dark.
Okay, number 3 is a similar story with you, or what did you do at first? What was your first reaction? What did you think it was?
I figured that it must be the volcano, but...
And we go to Susan.
Okay, number 2, it says here that the heat blast was estimated to have been 800 to 1,200 degrees. Did you have any burns on your body?
Very minor burns.
Number 1?
Just mine and my fingertips were singed, and my hair was singed also.
Was it actually on fire?
No, there were fires below, but the mud flow put them out.
I see. Number 3, are you experiencing any after effects right now?
Not right now. I do have to go in for checkups because of the radiation in the volcanic matter.
Number 2, what was your first reaction when this all occurred?
Take a picture of it.
Did you have any idea what it was?
At first, I thought it was a forest fire, and then I realized it was a volcano.
And we go to Bill Cullen.
I'll stay with number 2. Number 2, you thought it was a forest fire at first? Weren't you aware that they had been saying for some days that Mount St. Helens was about to erupt? They were on the radio on that saying it most likely, or it can erupt any moment now. Were you aware of that?
Yes, I was.
And you say you were 7 miles, I'll go to number 1. Number 1, you say you were 7 miles from the danger zone. How far did that put you from the actual tip or top of Mount St. Helens?
It was 13 air miles from us.
And number 3, if I'm not correct, many of the survivors, or many people who did not survive, were not that much closer than you. Is that correct?
No, there were people, our companions did not survive.
Your companions?
Mm-hmm.
How closer were they to Mount St. Helens than you, number 3?
They were 6 feet away from us.
Truly?
Yes.
Is that true with you, number 2?
Yes, it is.
And number 1? Wow.
And we go to Polly.
Number 2, what happened to the other members of your camping group that didn't survive? They hit by trees or what?
They were hit by falling trees.
By falling trees. Number 3, is that true?
Yes, we were fortunate enough to be at the root system of a fallen tree, so we were protected.
I see. Number 1, were you there on any kind of specific camping trip, or was it a hiking trip, or what?
It was just to get away for the weekend.
Just to get away for the weekend. Number 2, do you know anything about hiking? Did you have a specific hiking boot, and what kind was it?
No, I just wore my shoes.
I see. Number 3, did you have any particular camping stove, and what type of stove would it have been?
I don't remember the name of my
Number
camping
1, do you
stove.
remember the name of the stove?
We just had a lantern.
A lantern.
A
To
Coleman
cook by?
stove and a lantern.
That bell says time is up, panel. It's now time to vote for number 1, number 2, or number 3. Whoever, in your opinion, is the real Sue Ruff. The ballot's all marked. John, who'd you vote for?
Well, this is really a difficult one. Of course, it's a very, interesting story. Bill's line of questioning was very good. I kind of have to go number 2, and this goes clear back, I guess, the essence of to tell the truth. She just seems to me like she's telling the truth. She said, first reaction, take a picture of it.
Okay. And Susan, who got your vote?
I agree with John. This is so difficult. Any one of these women could be the imposters, be the real person as far as I'm concerned, but I just have a hunch it's number 3.
All right. And Bill, who'd you vote for?
Well, number 3 couldn't remember the name of her camping stove. But that doesn't bother me because I can't remember the name of my camping stove. Remember, my ex-camping stove was Mary. Oh, that was a great camping stove. But that's neither here nor there. Nor am I. I voted for number 3 on that basis.
And Polly, who did you vote for?
I voted for number 3 for all the above reasons.
Okay. Now we're going to find out which of these people, in fact, survived the eruption of Mount St. Helens. Will the real Sue Ruff please stand up? And let's meet her fellow camper, Mr. Bruce Nelson. Bruce, come on out here. Well, Bruce and Sue, we're extremely happy that you're sitting here with us today to tell this tale, and it's an amazing story. Somebody did ask the question, but I'd like to ask it again because I'm still not clear. Why were you there? There were warnings. I was out on the West Coast at the time. There were warnings like crazy. I wouldn't have gone within 50 miles of that mountain. Why were you there?
Well, we loved the country up there quite a bit, and we were in what was called the safe zone, and we just wanted to go up and go backpacking for the weekend.
Like to live dangerously, huh?
Like to.
All right, let's find out who our imposters are. Number one, would you tell us, please, who you are and what you do?
My name is Catherine Beasley, and I'm the assistant manager at Mopeds of Houston.
All right. And number three, you did very well. You got 3 votes, fooled a lot of the panel. Would you tell us, please, who you are and what you do?
My name is Margot Bremen. I'm a housewife and mother, and I am married to the great sports imposter, Barry Bremen.
Oh. All right, there were three incorrect votes at $100 each, giving $300 to our team of challengers. And we thank you for playing to tell the truth. And we'll see 2 of you back on One-on-One in just a few minutes. Thank you so much. We'll be back in just a moment.
It's in it.
Panel, we are back to play One-on-One. And here are 4 people that you have met before. Now, you remember Bill and Nelson, how could we forget Nelson, who were imposters for The Great Imposter? And you remember Catherine and Margot, who were imposters for The Volcano Survivor. Now, you know something about these people, but there is one fact about one of them that you don't know. One of these 4 people got married in a hot air balloon, and it's up to you to find out which one. And here's how you go about it. You'll each have 20 seconds to question the person sitting directly opposite you. End of that 20 seconds, you'll be asked to cast your vote there and then as to whether that person, in fact, got married up there in a balloon. Once again, we pay $100 for each incorrect vote, and if our team of challengers completely stumps you, they will win $500. And Polly, are you ready to question Bill?
I guess so.
Then hit it.
Hi, Bill. I don't know anything about hot air balloons. Do you?
Not too much. I just hired a hot air balloon to come to my used car lot, and with the pilot, I moved up our wedding plans to get free publicity, and that's why I did.
Isn't it easier to, I mean, there are simpler ways to get high, aren't there? I mean, it just doesn't...
But not to pay for advertising, no.
I see. What did you have?
Polly, is Bill our hot air balloonist? Yes or no? Nice try, Bill. That's a no. Bill, Colin, are you ready to question Nelson?
I am indeed.
Then start now.
Nelson, how many of you were in the gondola at the time of the ceremony?
Just four people.
You and I imagine your intended wife was there, and the minister and the balloon pilot.
Exactly.
How long were you in the? No, not husband. How long were you in the air, Nelson?
Well, we were just 50 feet above the ground.
Nelson, why did you do this?
When did we? 6 weeks ago.
No, why?
Well, why?
Oh,
Bill, is Nelson
know.
our hot air balloonist? Yes or no?
No.
No for Nelson. Susan, are you ready to question Catherine?
Yes.
Then start now.
Catherine, how many people were in the gondola?
4.
And what state was this done in?
New York.
New York. What part of New York?
Glens Falls, New York.
I see. Are you a hot air balloon pilot?
No, I'm not.
Is your husband a hot air balloon pilot?
No, you have to be licensed.
And you are not. I see. How long have you been married?
6 weeks.
Susan, is Catherine our hot air balloonist? Yes or no?
Yes.
A yes for Catherine. And John, are you ready to question Margot?
I'll try.
Then start now.
Okay, Margot, why did you get married in a hot air balloon?
Well, we got married 9 years ago, and just as my husband started his imposter career on a dare, I started my married life on a dare.
Okay, now, what's the name of the people who just crossed, in the last few months, across the Atlantic? First people across the Atlantic.
Maxie Anderson and his group, and I can't remember the other men.
Okay, fine.
John, is Margot our hot air balloonist? Yes or no?
Gee, the averages are against me, but I think there's a good possibility. Yeah, I mean, she's married to a crazy guy. She's got to be a little, you know. Yes, I'll say yes.
Okay, yes for Margot. The decisions have been made. Now it's time to find out who got married in a hot air balloon or who's just full of hot air. Will the real member of the balloon wedding please stand up? Thank you, Catherine. Catherine, we have a couple of pictures of this event. Would you care to tell us what is happening? If you look at your monitor, we'll be able to see what's happening here. This, I take it, is your husband in the white?
Yes, with the mayor's
Got
on
that
the
in.
right.
And we go to where, here we are.
This is the island in Crandall Park. It's a duck pond there. We went up from the island there.
So that's it. You just took off into marital bliss, did you?
Well, the actual ceremony was we were tied down above the park because we didn't know how high the mayor's jurisdiction went, and they got us tied down.
Well, we wish you great success in your future ballooning and, of course, in your married life, and you've won yourself $100. It was one incorrect vote. Thank you very much, all of you, especially Nelson, who's very weird, for joining us on To Tell the Truth. And we'll be coming back into your lives, hopefully, as soon as we can. That's all the time we have for today, panel. It's been a lot of fun. I hope we can do it again very soon. I hope you can all join us, too, again soon on To Tell the Truth. Thank you.
Occupational hazards may be coming your way. What's My Line with Larry Blyden is next, followed by married folks talking it up on the Newlywed Game, only on Game Show Network. It's time to register to play our live interactive game shows. Call 800-537-GAME now. It's fast, it's fun, and it's free. You only need to register once to play forever on Game Show Network. You're watching Game Show Network.